and welcome to Fairy Tales and French Knots. I'm Erin, and this is my channel about cross-stitch, where I talk long enough to make my family wonder what I'm up to, but short enough that you can probably watch this on your lunch break. Today is Sunday, April 12th of 2026, and this is my 50th episode. So if you are a returning viewer, thanks for sticking around and coming back. And if you're new here, welcome. I hope you enjoy my ramblings. I know I said in my last video that I wanted to do my 50th video on my 50th birthday. Well, today is not my 50th birthday. My mom will be coming to visit on my birthday, and we have some plans to go do some shopping and lunching and, generally birthday old people things. So I thought about releasing this video on my birthday, but I also have a really big, exciting finish that I can't wait to share and hopefully see everybody's excited comments about. So I'm not a fan of delayed gratification, and I'm going to upload this as soon as I get it formatted. Hopefully it will format correctly, because I recorded this earlier today and my camera decided that its memory was too full to process, and then it disappeared into wherever digital files go when your phone is angry with you. So I'm trying this again. I've got my finish to show you. I've got some progress on some other things. Got a little bit of stash from the Nashville market to show off. And then I will be doing a little giveaway for my birthday, because it's my birthday and that's what I want to do. So let's jump right in with my big finish. This is something that has been on my scroll frames for almost 2 years. And I did post last night a little teaser of me doing like the last 2 stitches. Hopefully I didn't get a copyright ding and end up with it taken down. Who knows? I may have. There was some music involved, only about 30 seconds of it. We'll see. Anyway, the piece is Sea Hag by Plum Street Sampler. So here's a picture of it. And this pattern is from 2010. So it's one of the older Plum Street releases. All of the threads are Gentle Arts. However, she did provide a DMC conversion here. For my version, I used some of the called for threads. I used some of the DMC, and in a couple cases, I took the DMC and went to my stash and found something close to the DMC. So it might be close to the called for, but it might not be, depending on how close the DMC was to the called for. Did you follow that? I did. But I'm strange. So my piece, without further ado, here it is. Starting at the top with the compass, go to the verse, the little blue fishies, more verse, ship in the center. That was a bear. More verse. And now the fishies are skeletons. Verse. And here is the Sea Hag with her skull. That is not charted, by the way. End of the verse. And the anchor at the bottom. So, about the Sea Hag. When I say not charted, what is not charted is that skull. She obviously is charted, just like that, with her hair, tail, her arms reach out like that. And that skull is actually a bead that I got at probably Joann's. And it was rounded like bead, and it was some sort of either clay or stone. I'm not really sure what the material was, but I took my Dremel tool and flattened the back of it so that it would lie flat on the fabric. It does make the piece like it stands up from the fabric. So when I go to get it framed, and I will be getting this framed, I'll have to have them build the frame up a little bit because it's about 1/4 of an inch high. So I don't want it to get, you know, mashed against the glass. But there's the whole piece. I don't know if it'll all fit on camera, if I can. There it is. Is it in focus? Maybe. Yes, it's about 22 inches from top to bottom. So she's a big girl. And this is 40 count latte from Fiber on a Whim. So yeah, stitched 1 over 2. And I used, like I said, a lot of my own flosses. My favorite, the little fishies, are stitched in Dread Pirate Roberts from Forbidden Fiber Co. I think. I'm not sure. That was a floss that I think it came from a Black Needle Society package box thing that I got from a stash unload group. So who knows? My stash is varied and weird, and it's just, it made me happy to use some of it. So yeah, little fishies. And I think I just said all the lettering is 3371. I didn't see a reason to go over-dyed on lettering. So yeah, I love it. I think it's super cool. I can hardly wait to get framed. So that was my big finish. Like I said, 2 years on the scroll rods. What's it? How many years before the mast or something? Anyway, so that's done. And once I finished that, I got inspired to go to other things that were close to finished. And I pulled World of Hedgehogs by Stitchy Princess back out. According to Pattern Keeper, I'm about 70% of the way done with this. So there's that. I'm working on the borders again and jumping into the center when I have a little extra colored thread left. So this one, I may have said this before, I just don't love it. Not because it isn't cute, but because I don't know what to do with it. Like, I don't have it. It's not screaming frame me at me. Maybe a pillow, but I'm not a big pillow person, so I don't know where I'd put it if I made it into a pillow. I could put it on a project bag maybe. I don't know, but it's still cute. I like working on it, so I'll get it done and put it in the box. So I'm working on that. And then I said I was going to do the collector's stitch along with Marissa over at MKissa Creations. And I know this was a March thing and we're now almost halfway through April, but I did pick some patterns for my Lord of the Rings wall. And the first thing I had to do, of course, was make a project bag because I don't have tons of project bags or anything. So I made this, which I think is very hobbity. I love it. And I had this charm fob tag thing that somebody gave me at StitchCon, I think, which colors look perfect on there. So I made the bag, and then I started Fabulous Houses number 5, The Hobbit House from Cottage Garden. And I'm stitching this on a 40 count because I do. And right now, how does that look? It's right here. There is my little Hobbit house. So you can kind of tell it's a house. This is the door, the stone around the door, and the grassy roof. I've got my little needle minder, which is super cute. I can't remember where I ordered that from. It was an Etsy seller, and I posted it when they came in, like 6 months ago when I bought them. I posted them. But there's a needle minder, and there's also some bling for my thread ring. So here are all my flosses, and then we've got the matching bling on the ring. Bling on the ring. That sounds cool. So yes, so that's the progress that I've made since finishing, or while finishing, Sea Hag, because I actually finished Sea Hag last night. I did start the Hobbit house before that, and, jumped around a lot. So, yes, that's our progress. And then there is stash. So I ordered my Nashville Market stash from Steph over at Just Keep Stitch & Co. And I'm a very happy customer. My mother ordered the Lilac Heart from Samplers Not Forgotten for me, and Steph was kind enough to refund my mom's shipping and include it with my order since it was coming to me. And then I had to wait a while. That's why it's taken me a while to show off my stash, because this is a full kit. This is the Lilac Heart, and none of the vendors, or a lot of the vendors, didn't get them all, so we had to wait for it to come in. But when it got here, here it is with all its fibers and fabrics and finishing. Everything starts with F. So there's that. I also got the Nashville Market Cookbook, which I get them every year. I think they're fun. And I will say, I think the primary reason I wanted this one was Cookie Claws by Boomerang Stitches. Look at him! Little Cookie Claws feeding the baby birds a cookie. I don't know if you should feed baby birds cookies. I'm not an environmental scientist person. I am not advocating feeding cookies to birds. But I suppose if you're the bird parent, you can do it. So cute. And that picture, could you have more perfect staging, like in the tray with the milk and the cookies? I mean, Amity, jeez, I had to have it. And there's a lot of cute patterns in here. I can't show a whole lot of them off because a lot of them are just the chart. There's some florals, some geometrics, a lot of stitching themed things. I think I like the Vintage Girl pattern from Fox and Rabbit. There's not a picture of it, and it's a black and white chart, so I'll have to figure that one out and see. Maybe I'll just stitch it the way I like it. Who knows? Let's see, what else? Is there others I can show off in here? There's a little house with a tomato on it from Antique Needleworkers. That's cute. What other ones are in here that I like? Oh, and then Ardith Design did the 6-7 sampler, which that just made me laugh because I have a teenager. The 6-7 thing is, you know, both not cool that I know about, but no one really knows what it means. So there it is. I think it's cool that it's, you know, incorporated into a more traditional looking sampler, but it's kind of a wink nod to the young people. So I like that one. There was another one in here. I can't remember. Oh, the Blue Flowers Tomato Squirrel. So last year I did the Mushroom Squirrel. I feel like I need to do Tomato Squirrel. So there's not a picture of that one finished, so I can't show that off. But yeah, so this is the cookbook. Very nice. And then I got, speaking of Ardith Design, I got the Rise Up and Shine sampler. That purple fabric, I can't even. I will say all the flosses are Forbidden Fiber Co. colors, and there's not a DMC. Oh, there is a DMC thread conversion. It's just little and tiny, because I was expecting it to be over here, and it's actually in this paragraph down here. So yes, I can sit down with the DMC conversion and my stash, and I can find some stuff that works, because I don't know if I'm ready to order that many Forbidden Fiber Co. threads. I might be convinced. You never know. But anyway, I do have a purple fabric. I don't know if I have this exact one, which is, oh yes, I do. It's Artemis. And I think I bought Artemis last year at StitchCon because Erin of Amity's sister convinced me I should buy it. So good call, right? So yes, have that. I also got the Chocolate Bunnies Needle Book from Pansy Patch. I just love those little brown bunnies. They're so cute. And I want to do this not as a needle book, but as like a cube finish. And then I got the pins that I think would look perfect in the top of it. So I had plans. Got that. So that was most of my stash, except for my Beneath the Waves stash. I did get 5 of the Beneath the Waves patterns and the floss pack, and I have a 40 count fabric. I'm thinking if I lay my patterns out right, they're either going to go 2, 2, and 2, or 3 and 3, you know, in a grid, because I have 5 plus one of the freebies, the turtle from Stitch Crypt, I think. Yes, the Citrus Sea Turtle. So that one. And then I picked Sea Turtle Cove. I like turtles, people. Sea Turtle Cove. I have Stitchy Prose Tentacles Below. And I have Stitchy Prose's Anchored Tails. So I have all 3 of these that look like the ocean bottom. And I'm thinking some sort of like this, maybe, you know, to make it look like the ocean bottom. If I do 3 and 3 and I put these 3 on the bottom, and then on the top I have the turtle freebie, I have Jan Hicks Underwater Garden, and I also have the Tiny Modernist Midnight Ocean. Although that kind of looks like the sea bottom too, with the coral. Well, we'll see. We'll see. I don't know yet. So that is all of my Nashville stash. Oh, and also my Beneath the Waves already have a project bag. This lovely turtle bag. I don't know who made this. I did not make this. I bought this one. So whoever made it, it's perfect. Thank you. So there's all of that. So that's what I've been up to. A quick life update. My big finish that I love. Little bit of progress on some things. And some stash. So now we will do the giveaway. If you've stuck around for the past 17, 18 minutes or so, I've got 2 things to give away. Please do not use the word giveaway or anything like that in your comment, because we all know then the bots catch us. You must be 18 to enter because of giving out addresses and such. I think those are the only rules. I also, I'll give you a word for each thing. There are 2 things. You can win both. You can win neither. You can win one. That's whatever happens, happens. And I will use a random comment picker next week to pick a winner. I think I'll probably do the random comment picker on the 17th, which might be my birthday. I'm not saying. Just saying that I'm not saying that it might be my birthday on the 17th. Yes, so you have until the 17th to enter. On either the 18th or 19th, I'll post a very short video, a little blurb to say, hey, winners, email me. I don't know if I'll have much more to say because I have to get my mom home that weekend as well, but something will be posted. I promise. Okay. So what am I giving away? First, I have these 2 patterns. They will travel together because no pattern wants to travel alone. One is Lizzie Kate's Cherish All Living Things. The other is Dream by Just Another Button Company, Art to Heart. And both of them have all the buttons that you need. This one, well, I guess Lizzie Kate has charms. Jabco has buttons. They are all wrapped in squish. These 2 charts are not huge. The Cherish All Living Things is 60 by 119. Dream, I can't read a size on here. Both are charted in specialty flosses. Dream in Weeks and Lizzie Kate in Gentle Arts. both have full DMC and anchor conversions on the back. So you do not have to use the hand-dyed floss if you don't want to, and it's very easy to knot. I think both of these are lovely. I hope whoever wins them will stitch them and share a picture, because I've wanted to, but at the same time, I know me and I just don't have a place to display either of these. I keep looking at them and wanting to keep them and then going, why, Erin, you won't do them? So the word for these two will be dream. I know it's the name of one of the charts, but you know, it was my dream to stitch both of them, and I'm not going to. So dream will win both of these little package. Okay? Dream. The other thing I will give away is one of my stitch boxes. I've tried to sell these on Etsy. I've had them up in the Stash Unload groups. A few of them have sold, but this one has not. So this one is, honestly, I think it's kind of cute. It's like a psychedelic swirl. And inside, it is finished with stars and moons that coordinate with the teal. There's a little pair of Temu special scissors. I cannot attest to the quality of these scissors. They should cut threads for a little while, probably, but they fit in here and they're cute, so in they go. This little space is actually the perfect size for kohanas, the little tiny kohanas. I'm not buying a $20 pair of kohanas for everyone in this box that I made, so you get the Temu equivalent. And you know, if you want to put your own in there, hey, go right ahead. You also have a little space here for threads or other doodads that you like to have with you. This is a needle minder. I think it looks like a black hole. That's why I put it in the space box here. This was a pendant from my husband's grandmother's jewelry collection. So you get the family history of the jewelry, and there's also a floss ring in here because I had extra floss rings. So little stitch kit that you can zip up. That's what I like about these two. They zip, they don't snap, so you don't have to worry about them popping open ever. And yeah, chuck it in your stitching bag and off you go. So for this, use the word space in honor of the Artemis crew that just hit the atmosphere, splashed down the other night. Yeah, so space for the little stitching box, dream for the patterns, and I will draw a name on the 17th at midnight or thereabouts. I'll draw a name after the 17th, but you must enter by 11:59 p.m. on 4/17. How's that? There we go. Yes. And on the 18th, 19th, next weekend sometime, I will post a winner. So until next weekend, when I might have a birthday and I might actually be 50, maybe I'll get another 106, a whole bunch. I'm not good at math. 131. There we go. Right? I think. Yes. Yeah, maybe I'll get that many subscribers. I doubt it. But anyway, I will see you all next week for a brief update. And until then, keep making cool stuff and being awesome people. Bye.